the journey to trust, loyalty, and recognizing my own beauty. Hi, you guys, it's Golden Chastity. Before we begin, I want to thank God and center us on His truth. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths." So, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the journey of trust, loyalty, and recognizing my own beauty. See, I've learned a lot these past couple of days, well, these past months, but recently a lot these past couple of days. And I learned a big lesson out of it, and I felt led by God to want me to come on here and teach you guys, tell you guys me, my story, and teach you guys as well what I've been learning myself. So whatever I've been learning, I know my teachings can help you as well. Okay, this is what I've been here to do. And I only be on YouTube when God instructs me to be on here. So I feel pretty good to be back on YouTube. It's good for you guys to see me on here. And I just love and appreciate you all. And I'm just ready to spread my message right now so you guys can learn as well. One of the first things I want to talk about is loyalty. Yes. Recently, I learned a big lesson about loyalty and what loyalty really means to someone that has your back and that's a good person and that's just going to be there for you and love you and be loyal to you back. Okay, so this is the first subject I'm going to be speaking about. Okay, and this is a big one because loyalty is a big thing in the matrix. What I mean is in the world. Okay, loyalty and trust, though that's like the big thing in the matrix. I made a big mistake by choosing to be around someone that's not good for me or my sister. Okay, me and my sister, we always been like close. Of course, we be around each other 24/7, do everything 24/7, go to stores, anything you could think of. Me and my sister are always close, and we always growing together and healing together as two women of God. I broke that trust and loyalty between us, and every time when I was like around this person, I felt like my peace was going away and negativity started entering into my life. It hurt me deeply knowing I caused pain into my sister that I love a lot. I learned to not choose toxic people over the people who treat me with love, respect, and kindness. Okay, and that has my back. For real, that has my back. Okay, that's the biggest lesson that I've learned. I know you guys probably thinking, did your sister forgive you? Yes, she forgave me, and she gave me a lot of grace, a lot of forgiveness, and another chance. And I am very thankful for that because I was getting so upset. I was so upset at myself on choosing the wrong decisions in my life, the wrong choices in my life, making that big mistake. It's just me still learning, me also giving myself grace, making a big mistake in my life. And what I learned is that I'm going to always keep learning no matter what, no matter how old I get. I'm 25 years old, and I just learned a big lesson about loyalty. And I learned to not go hard on myself just because I made a mistake and, I did something wrong. And I also learned to not go so hard on myself when I make a mistake. if I choose the wrong way in my life. I know that I cannot go hard on myself because I'm learning. I'm just learning, and we don't know everything. So we have to go experience it and learn from it and never make that mistake again and keep moving on in life and keep learning your lessons as you're living. You never don't want to hold something against you or just down yourself or overthink or feel low in yourself because you made a wrong choice in your life or you did something wrong. Just know that you did something wrong and you will learn from that. You will learn from that lesson, and that lesson is going to hurt, but I'm really seeing more and more and more that is what life is about. Life, it do hurt. Life is a beat. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna always keep getting hurt, learning lessons, but it's good to get hurt so you will never do it again. You know what I'm saying? And I was really hurt by this lesson, and I don't think I will do it again because I have wisdom now to understand. Do not leave the other person to another person if they're toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like, do not leave a good person out your life for another toxic person, especially if that person ain't got your back, like the person that you've been talking to, which is your friend, sister, whoever. You're going to see the difference. Somebody has been there for you and had your back, and you just was like, man, toe up. You needed support, you needed love, you needed care, and if your person provide that for you, that's good, but just never like choose other people that's toxic, towards a good person. So yeah, I learned from my biggest mistake, and I also know that experience is your best teacher. Yes, it is. You got to go out and experience and learn and come back and be the greatest just version of yourself. So that's exactly what I did. I went out and I experienced, and it was hurtful, but I learned a big lesson from it. And I felt down these couple of days, but I didn't stay there, okay? I felt down those couple of days. I processed. I was alone. I isolated myself, so nobody didn't really like see me going through like my stuff. So I was basically in my room those couple of days, and I was just processing, and I was going through it, and I was really down. But as these couple of days started going past by, I started getting better and better and better. I just have to sit alone with myself and God, okay? I want to tell you guys, God is real. And I know a lot of people don't believe in God. Some do believe in God, are real true God believers, but me, I'm a real God believer because I didn't stay there. I didn't stay in that sunken place of feeling low in myself, because I would have kept feeling low to this day, but I don't feel low. I actually feel good. I actually feel like I learned something and I will never want to do it again. And I feel like I overcame that pain, because I didn't sit in it. So it was just me alone with myself, and I was sitting with God, and I was talking to God about it. I was crying about it. I was just really in a low energy. But like I said, as days go by, I started getting better and better and better. And I started getting more clarity and learning more and more and more. Like, you don't do this. You don't mess off a good person that's been in your life and that's had your back and that's cared for you when no one didn't care for you from the start. And I really, really see that. I really see that. And I just want to thank God so much. Like, I thank him a lot for just being here and listening to my prayers and being a support, because that was big and it was hurtful, and something that I never don't want to do again. And I'm kind of getting a little emotional, but I am okay. I just, crying of like thankfulness. I'm thankful that I get to learn the lesson, because I never don't want to hurt people. I never just don't want to be a bad person to anybody that's been good to me. I just had to learn. That's it. I just had to learn, and God was right there with me when I was feeling low, and I appreciate him so, so much. I usually don't really get emotional on the camera, but for some reason, I feel God's presence in this room, and I feel like he's here giving me support and a comfort right now. I can feel the Holy Spirit in here, and I thank him so, so much, because he must want me to get vulnerable to cry on here. That's why I'm crying. I thank him so, so much, because it's really hard, like it's really, really hard learning lessons, because it hurts, but I learned a big lesson out of it, and I learned that pain don't stay forever. When you go through something really bad, or you're going through a storm in your life, or spiritual warfare, it's not gonna last forever. You just be needing to learn lessons from it, and move on and be strong in it, and God is going to always be right there with you. And I'm just so thankful I didn't go hard on myself. I remember what I wrote in my journal, and I do wanted to read it on here, because when I was going through it, I was going through my journal, looking in my journal, and it's this what I said. It was about life, and it just really spoke to me again, and I wanted to like read it to you guys. But if I can find a page, I will do it right now. Sorry. I'm going to read it to you guys. If you guys could see it, it's probably backwards. You can't really like see it. But it says, it's reminder for myself. And I wrote this August 11th, 2025. So this was last year that I wrote this. And the title, it says learning about life. And so I said, what I'm learning about life is not easy, and life will always test you for the rest of your life. But as long as I got God, I have the tools to pray about anything, and I am struggling with. I am 24 years old. I am still young. I have a full life to enjoy and experience and learn. And what I'm learning at a young age, I'm learning that it's okay if I mess up. It's okay if I don't know a lot of things. That's in the Matrix. I'm learning I don't have to know everything all at once. I don't have to rush my age to hit 40 or 50 years old just to learn a lot of knowledge and wisdom and information. I need to enjoy my 20s being young and keep growing in myself as a young lady. I'm learning that a lot of young people mess up, and that's okay, because I see they are just learning too. But I know if I mess up, I have the tools to go back to the Lord and ask him for help. For anything, whatever I feel, or things that make me feel uncomfortable, like learning, I do see when it comes to something new energy, or me learning new things, I go so hard on myself and I start to be out my character. I pray working on that, because I feel so negative sometimes. Learning makes me feel stupid, because I don't know something. I am young. Of course, I'm not going to know every single little thing. And I see that now. If I don't know it, it's just, I don't know it. I can I can't go so hard on myself. So I'm really glad that I found this page again in my journal. I feel like, I wanted to read this to you guys to show you what I was talking about. This was last year, and because I was reading this when I was actually going through it with myself, and this was actually helping me give myself a lot of grace and not go so hard on myself, because I remember when I wrote this, and yeah, I just oh, excuse me, I need some water. I just, really am like learning my lessons a lot, and it's not easy. God knows that it's not easy, but I really appreciate God for being a support with me going through it by myself. I just had God at that time, and I'm thankful that He is here, and God gives me grace. God gives me second chances. God gives everybody a lot of chances. Like, God gives people so much grace, man. Man, it's a good thing, because people gonna always mess up. People gonna always sin. People gonna always just, choose the other way. But God, He give us grace on that, and we all have a choice to choose. God will make us choose a choice. God don't control what life that's best for you. That's your choice. Pick the option you want. And me, I choose to continue to be on the right path and having God in my life and staying in alignment and doing work on myself and growing as a woman, and helping other people and discipling others as well. I have another subject that I want to talk about. The other subject I want to talk about is trust. Yes, I learned about trust as well. What I learned about trust is you got to be careful who you give your heart, your love, your loyalty, to people. Not everybody around is a good person. Some will smile in your face and act like they care and that they cool and a good friend and whatever, like, but behind your back they doing a whole lot of thinking negative of how could they hurt you, and or what game to play next, or what's the next prey on I'm gonna do on, these are these people brains thinking. When you thinking innocent and a beautiful butterfly, another person have secrets, hidden secrets that you don't even just know yet, and so you just gotta be really, really careful who you're around. I used to think being kind and a good person meant people would treat me the same way, but life taught me that's not always true. Trust should be something that's earned, not something you hand out too quickly. I realized that I cannot be friends with just anybody, okay? Because I am a woman that's different. Like, I see that I'm just not no regular, snegular female. Like, I really am a woman of God, really doing the work in myself and growing and learning and healing and, all of those things, So if I'm trying to be friends with somebody out in the world, I have to choose wisely, really wisely. And it's really not that many people I can't connect to, because people is not on the level spiritually and mentally I'm on, okay? Because I'm really, really, really about that life with the Lord, like really a spiritual woman. So when I be around a person, I can instantly tell their energy gets very, like, what is the word? Intimidated in my energy. And jealousy starts to come, and envy, and all of those toxic things, because, that person is not right. Me, I've been on a healing journey. okay, for a long time. I didn't just start. I started back in all the way a long time ago, 2021. Okay, it's 2025 now. That's like, I guess, 6 years, I think. 5 or 6 years now. Yeah. So I really, really just have to be careful with friends I'm gonna choose, because everybody is not on a healing journey like I am. Nobody is not on a level where I am at. All right. I know me, Chastity. I did the work in myself with a disability. So I know anybody who I meet that has a disability and that want to be with me, like, I'm going to know that they're not on my level, because I know that I grew a lot in here, and a lot of my people be stuck and they don't really know how to heal. They don't really have the guidance how I have guidance in my life. But this is why I am here, to be the leader and to teach on my channel and help my own people that has disabilities. Trust me, I understand every disability struggle what we go through. I've been having this disability my whole life, okay? I know and I understand the struggles of having a disability. Other people may not know, because if they don't have a disability, that's fine, but I know, and this is why I'm here to do what I'm doing, teaching you guys today. So, I just know that I can't be, friends with anyone. I can't do it. I'm not no regular snuggler person. So, and one thing I learned is protecting your peace is important. If somebody consistently lies to you, just manipulates you, disrespects you, drain your energy, then this is a sign you need to leave. Walk away. Walk. You guys, this is a pretty long video. I have a lot to say. I'm gonna actually drink some more water, because it's been so a while, I also want to add, don't be selfish, to people, okay, that treat you very good. Never think about yourself. Always think about the other person, because if you want good people in your life, you cannot think about yourself. Like, if you want a husband or a wife in your life, you cannot think about yourself. You're not single, okay? This goes for relationships, or if you have kids, if you have like a sister relationship or a friend relationship. I can use every other scenarios I'm gonna explain. Like, if you are in a relationship with your husband or your wife, you cannot be selfish, because you guys are a married couple and you guys have to share together and love each other, have each other backs, and not think about yourself. Always think about your husband or your wife, okay? And if you have kids one day, if you have a kid, you cannot be selfish thinking about yourself. You have to give your baby attention. And I learned, if you don't give your child attention, your child is going to be a weirdo. And I do not want my child to be looked at as a thing or a weirdo in the world, because how you treat your kid, that's how the world people is going to treat your kid exactly like that. And you're not going to like how people are going to treat your kid like that. So it's up to you, the person, to treat your kid with love, okay? With a lot of love and attention and care. And what I learned about kids, they pay attention to everything. And this where sometimes, well, a lot of times, adults don't be understanding. Like, parents don't be understanding. Kids be watching you, okay? And I know I was one of them when I was a kid. I know everything, I see everything. You have to make sure you're doing your kid right, treating your kid with love, kind, and respect, because your kid is gonna watch you, especially when they get older. When they hit like about 18, they're gonna usually start telling about parents, just if it's toxic, they're gonna be like, oh, my dad, he didn't really be the best dad, or my mom, she didn't really be the best mom to me because she didn't give me no love, or so I just want to give a message out there for anybody that just don't know this. This is very important. If you are having kids, or if you already have kids, I just want you to know your kids is always learning from you and paying attention, watching you. So we as parents have to be responsible and show a good example to our kids, okay? And so when our kids get older, they will have a good experience, with their parent, that we treated them right, basically. So I ain't saying I'm having no kids right now, but I'm just saying in the future, I will possibly want to have kids. And when I have kids, I'm going to be a great mother and give my kid love, support, especially emotional support. Kids really need emotional support and love and care and someone to just really listen to. So these little kids be having souls, and they be seeing everything. They see it all. If you think they just a kid, they don't know nothing. You just a kid. No, don't, because they remember. Okay, so I'm just speaking the best of it. Like, I know, I heard it from other people, so when their kids was talking about their parents and stuff like that. But you just always want to make sure you be a good parent, give your kid a love and attention, and you'll be the best dad or the best mother ever. And that's what I want to be. Even if you don't have kids, or even if it's not your kids and you're in a relationship with someone and they got kids, if it's not your kids and you are being like a stepmom or a stepdad, you still will want to show that kid support, even if it's not your kid. If you're in a relationship with a person, if you love that person, you should love their kids too, even if it's not your kids. And that's being a real adult right there, because I know sometimes it get really toxic and a jealousy. If you are with somebody and they got kids, you don't want to send no negative energy towards the kids, even if the kid is not comfortable seeing you and being around you, because you are, with your partner and they got kids. You just still want to show those kids love, kind, and respect, and also give them emotional support as well, okay? Even if it is stepkids, okay? Even if you are a stepmom or a stepdad, So I know that for myself, that I'm going to be a good stepmom if I was to have be in a relationship with a man and he has kids. Because I'm like Jesus, honey, I accept all kids, okay? Step kids, my kids, anybody kids. Recently, I've been like telling my sister that, I don't know, something about me just like loving kids and just seeing parents with their kids, and they be walking to the park, or they just, will walk down the street, just seeing their kids. Kids are beautiful and innocent and pure. And I love kids. I'm just glad I know how to just be with one, because I have to take care of myself first. In order to take care of somebody else or somebody else's kids or your kids, you have to make sure your mental health is in a right brain, right mental health. How you treat your kid, that's how the world people is going to treat you. So you have to really give your kid love, affection, attention, all of that, okay? So, and that's what I learned. If you want good people that has a really good heart and that really is kind, if you want to keep good people in your life, you're going to have to just think about the other person and not just yourself, okay? Never be selfish. If you want people in your life, you cannot think about yourself. You have to think about the other person, regardless, whether it's your kid, your baby. Oh, I already said that. Your husband, your friends, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your nephew, whatever, anybody in your life. Do not always think about yourself, period. Unless you want to be lonely, and then you can think about yourself, be selfish. It's a lonely road. I advise, if you want good people in your life, if you want a husband, if you want to keep your kids in your life, good friends, siblings in your life, then you have to just really think about them too, because they have emotions and feelings as well, and we just all have to reciprocate the energy, all of us, fill each other's cup up. And this is how you care for a person, is listen to the person and care for them, give them good advice, fill their cup up. Just make sure you're reciprocating the energy back, because these are human beings. So I know myself. I know I'm a beautiful person. Like, I really can see to the full, all the way, seeing who I am. I know I am very, very beautiful. And beauty, like I said again, beauty is power, okay? And a lot of good people will look at my beauty and admire it and give me compliments, or they don't have to. They can just admire me from the far and think positive thoughts. And what I'm learning about is more of the bad people and how they view me. And this is where I need to protect myself, because I didn't have this protection at all. I didn't know how to protect myself from bad people. I didn't even know where to start, how to make the move. You know what I'm saying? But I know how to protect myself now. Okay, I can identify a person that's being too on my looks. If a person is being too on my looks, keep talking about my hair texture, keep talking about my skin complexion, keep talking about just, then that sounds like somebody that's so obsessed with me, and that's not a good thing. When somebody's that obsessed and keeps talking about that, like, that's not a good sign. So I just know how to protect myself, is to get away from those people, and that don't need to just keep talking about my beauty all the time, because I know I'm beautiful. Okay, these are the people gonna attack me in the matrix. They're always gonna do it. So I'm already getting used to it. I'm already ready for it. I have the tools to know how to block it. I know how to identify it, and nobody is never gonna make me feel whack or low in myself, me think, or make an illusion that I don't know who I am, or if they're trying to paint an illusion that you are just this whack person. I don't believe that. I know who I am. I know I am that beautiful girl in the world. I know I am a Queen Esther, but these looks is for the Lord, not for the world. You know what I'm saying? People will want to exploit my looks and take pictures and screenshot and jack off or do anything. That's why I just barely be on Instagram. I'm not instructed to post anything on social media until God instructs me to, like I'm doing a YouTube video. But I'm just telling you, like, I'm learning a lot about these other people, what they will do, so I just know how to protect myself now. Okay, I know, and I have the tools. All I can do is just walk away. Walk. I don't need to stay there. I don't need to listen to somebody talk about how beautiful I am for an hour, because I will start to get uncomfortable. And if I feel uncomfortable, I am leaving. Yeah, but that's all pretty much that, I learned just more and more about myself and who I am and the power that I am. I'm a powerful woman with a disability. That was pretty much it. And I know that was like a long video. This is a long video. I think it's like 30 minutes, half an hour. But if you stay here all the way from the beginning to the end, you're awesome. Okay? You're awesome. Like, thank you so much for even just listening, because I learned so much these past couple of weeks, days. I learned a lot, and I'm just going to keep on learning and keep just growing and keep learning, you know what I'm saying? And I really just glad that I'm here to help and give people that, that support and that guidance as well. Okay, and if you guys really enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment down below, and I'll be back on here whenever the Lord instructs me to make another video. It's good to be back on here, and you guys just seeing me teach you, and I just appreciate it so much. I had a lot, you know, I had a rough couple of weeks, but I'm coming back stronger than ever. And I'm right where I'm at, sitting in present, waiting on God. Whatever He instructs me to do, I'm going to do it. Okay. So if you guys want to repost this video, let others know my story, testimony, I will really appreciate it. And if you feel like you want to sow into my ministry, I have Cash App and PayPal and Zelle. So that'll be in the description box. I'll put my information in there. Make sure you look in that description box and you can sow a seed. Okay. I love you and the Lord loves you. And I just hope you learned something from my video, because I know I learned a lot. And I'm all here to teach it and help others with disabilities. So thank you, and I love you, and I'll see you next message.